What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today behind me, I have got an awesome bunk model. We're going to be taking a tour of the 2025 Rockwood Signature 374 DBH, and I think you guys are going to love it, especially if you're in the market for a bunk model fifth wheel, because this thing has got it going on, baby. And if you guys are not familiar with Rockwood, we'll do a good little 15 to 20 minute tour, so breaking down maybe why you should consider this. But the reason why I say, why should you buy Rockwood? I actually have a video made that I did with the rep breaking down all the little intricacies of what makes Rockwood a little bit different. Why have they been the top dog for the last 50 years? But today I am down at Funtown RV's North Branch or North Detroit location for a little bit of a RV party that they got going on. So pretty darn cool place, but I haven't recorded a video at a dealership in quite some time, or not like out on the lot at least. Usually they're, you know, maybe I'm somewhere crazy like their Superstore down in Cleburne, which I should be at later this month actually. But yeah, it feels pretty good to get back into the nuts and bolts of it. But again, it's the 2025 Rockwood Signature 374 DBH. Now, this is going to be a true six-sided aluminum frame constructed unit, so pretty darn fancy there. But I like to say it's really a seven-sided aluminum frame constructed unit because, like, underneath the dinette and the bed, they actually run additional aluminum, and that is covered mainly in the Why Buy Rockwood series that I'm doing. But I'll show you a couple things of that. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Now, since I am at the Funtown, North Detroit location, I'm going to go ahead and put a link for this particular RV down in the description so you can access the price. And when that one sells, obviously the next one that takes its place will be there. So make sure to double check, along the way. That way, you get it exactly how you option it here, or, at least you're on the up and up. So what I like about this camper is, well, first off, you got the bedroom, bathroom, and then this is always pretty nice to me because, we have kids at home, and I know a lot of times people want a big old honker of an island, right there in the middle, but I love the fact that you get a ton of countertop space. There might not be a ton of seating, but the bunk model, the bunk room is fantastic. Plus you have the washer and dryer back in the kids area, which I think is nice because it's not stuck up by me, where me and Honey Buns can actually enjoy a night of sleep. But I love the fact you get all these countertop space in this open area for a 3-year-old. Would be a great place to play like Barbies and all that while we're sitting down with some of the older kids, maybe watching a movie. On those rainy days, this added space I think will pay dividends. You're also going to see you have an electric fireplace and a more, not quite residential, but more residential sized oven, which I think is, pretty darn handy. But that fireplace will put out about 4,800 BTUs of heat, which in an RV this size, it'll heat the entirety of this room and probably start bleeding up into the bedroom, possibly into, the bunk room if you have proper air circulation to kind of get it on through. But the TV is a really great size. It's also an Insignia, so it's going to be a smart TV. You also have the solid surface countertops, which, babe, if you're watching, I love you. Outlets, and then, you have a ton of countertop space even here as well. And I like how it's kind of the two-sided, creates a little bit of separation, for my wife's, like all of her, different decor sets. Like we probably have like crystals and stuff over here, and then more like traditional, like a Keurig back here with the pop-up top. That's a wireless charging station top, but then you're also going to get 2 outlets, USB and a universal C. Stainless steel undermounted bowl with the high-rise faucet. Hitting those dishes from all angles, excuse me. You also get the flip-up countertop right here, and then you're going to have real wood for the cabinetry. And I mean, you can just tell that is, built in pretty well. It looks pretty darn nice. That's going to be a utensil drawer, and the bottom 2 are going to be more open-ended. Over here, you have a clear cutout area for like a garbage can. So you notice how the plumbing doesn't get in the way, but you do have access to your plumbing there back behind that little entrance. Little bit here. Overhead storage is pretty darn nice too. So you got the kind of the glass insert over on this side, but then it elbows in to this storage too. So it's kind of one continuous piece, which I like. And I don't know if this is much of a selling point, but I haven't really seen this before. I also like how they put the beading right in there. Usually it's just like open-ended with like a staple or something holding it in there, but they actually cocked that in, which I think is pretty darn snazzy. It just kind of adds to the, the extra care, back to kind of like the why they have survived 50 years. It's obviously not, cutting every corner that you can, which I think in the RV industry, it can be that way sometimes. Residential size microwave. You got everything that you need, including popcorn and potato mode. The 3-top burner to whip up all the fixins. And like I was saying, just a little bit bigger oven than most. not quite residential, but you could probably fit in like a chicken or something like that in there, you know, if you needed to. And then as you flip it around on the other side of the TV, you do have your dinette. And as you can see right here, it's going to be in that sleeper mode. But this is a freestanding dinette. What's nice about that is since you have all those kids, you know, I'm assuming you're taking stuff outside. Well, you don't have to pack a table because you can take that outside with you. And as you can see, you got room to probably sit 4 comfortably, but like 6 if you really truly wanted to try and cram in. You're also going to get pretty good head height because you do have the flush mount flooring, which if you can see right there, you got the old Birkenstocks, look at the old Piggly Wigglies. But you got flush mount flooring for about 6'3" or so for head height. You're also going to notice you do have the tinted windows and, come on, technology. You have the tinted windows. This is going to be an emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry, but you're also going to get the old Dracula shade right there, and that'll be for every shade as well. Now, storage here. It's going to be on rollers, so I think that's a big time plus. You also have your recliner right over here, and it's also going to be the powered variation with the USB and the stainless steel cup holder with, again, a little bit more overhead storage. And there's a lot of it. And you have the backlight that's in there too, which you can kind of see right in here. It doesn't really do much of anything other than aesthetics, but I feel like at night, if you're coming in for a little midnight snack, or you have, you know, for instance, like my 3-year-old, you got a fan there too. You know, if she's coming out, just having that little accent lighting, I think just kind of helps out. Plus, it just looks pretty darn sweet, especially, like I said, when the lights are off. Now, as we continue over on this slide, you know, we already saw kind of the dinette. Now, this is going to be your Magic Chef. So this is going to be a 10.7 12-volt refrigerator. So if you have solar up on top, which this will be wired for solar, you know, it'll run off of the solar. Your truck when you're driving down the road, and of course your battery, which right now I've got a battery box pumping. You get yourself like a little pantry. I think I would probably like to see maybe some pull-out shelves. I think that would be a nice little addition, possibly a little DIY action. But you also have a trash can right there, which is definitely really nice. Now this back bunk room, like I said, someone with 4 kids at home, this is a nice, nice bunk room. There's not going to be the 4 bunks, but you got the oversized back here. Why is it dark? Where's the, there you go. Let me flip that on. These are going to be a little bit bigger than your regular bunk, and this one's even going to be bigger than the top. It's almost like a double-sized bed, or a full-size bed, I think they call it. Emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. So you want to put your favorite kid down here, and then you have the windows that open up there too as well. You also going to get 3 ACs in this unit too, which is nice. So you got one right there, and then in the bedroom, and then you got your USB speaker there too as well. But these are also going to be on the dimmers. So all you got to do is push and hold, and that'll dim down. Obviously, outlets on both sides of the bunk there for you. You also have your washer and dryer prep too. So if you're using this a little bit more than, you know, the average person would be, you do have the ability to go a little bit more full time. Plus, you got that, again, 6-sided aluminum frame construction. And then I can't show. So right here, this is something that, you know, this is something that's often hidden, which in this case it is too. But usually it's a 1-inch by 1-inch piece of pine. You can see right there, just a little sliver of the aluminum. That's just going to help out that longevity. So oftentimes people put like their knee down and break through the bunk at some point or break through the dinette. Well, since it is aluminum, it'll last quite a bit longer for you, which I think is one of those things that most salespeople don't really even know, but they most certainly don't point out. That is a reason why you might want to get this over something else that's comparably priced. JBL speaker built into your smart TV. That's also going to be on a swivel, so you can angle it around, and then your backup here into the front. Which, you know, you just kind of just saw. But look at how that lights up. Well, heck, I said that. You can't even really see it right there. But if I turn the lights off, trust me, it would be good for it. No heat vents, no ducting in the floor. So you got them underneath the steps. But you got to see, I mean, no like dart collectors or anything like that. Right as you walk in the door, you do have your control panel. So this would be your 30 amp solar charge controller. And then you also have, you know, all your different lighting controls, your water heater, your tank heater, so 12-volt tank pads, your dual awnings, and your slide control. Right there as well. You're also going to have a grab handle that's tied into the framework there of the sides. And then you're heading into the bathroom. Kind of a get-me-done size, but it's got a good-size shower, which I really like as a bigger guy. Porcelain foot flush throne. The old steamer stink sucker 3000 right there up on the roof. And then as you come in, you notice how you have the Tri-Glide glass series to help you get in and out just a little bit easier. But again, 6 foot, about 295 pounds here. But you have plenty of head height. So you taller folks out there will really like this, sitting at about 6'7" or so for that. And you also got a couple places, maybe like some soaps, shampoos, things of that nature. You flip the camera around right there, bam, bowling gun, baby. And you got yourself a little bit of a medicine cabinet. You also have the control for the Max Air fan, that what I just called the steamer stink sucker. You can check that out. All right. Now, one thing to point out too, and again, that'll be in that video, that Why by Rockwood. They don't have the instant on-demand hot water heater. However, they went with the more tried and true gas and electric water heater. And that's actually a pretty interesting listen if you check out as to why. I never really knew. I actually learned quite a bit from doing that with them down in Cleburne. So, Zach, if you're watching, brother, I appreciate you. Can't wait to learn a little bit more about the Rockwood Flagstaffs, baby. Shelving on either side, which I think is nice. And I like how it's open-ended. You also have USBs and outlets on both sides, as well as the reading lights and a little bit more overhead storage. And then as you flip it around, you have a good place for some hanging clothes. These are also going to be removable there too as well. Emergency exit, pull, push, and plop. You got another window right here. And then you have another smart TV right there, probably about a 32-inch or so. But all right, guys, maybe drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Again, it's the 2025 Rockwood 374 DBH. And like I said, the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description of this video. But now we're heading around back out to the front. Let me see if I can snag a quick little thumbnail here. We'll do like one of the, man, that thing's sitting up tall, sitting in this little tiny divot. Like right there. All right. So, like I was saying, 6-sided aluminum frame construction. So you got boom, 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 and then the back. Typically, they are going to use a wood truss for the roof, but they opted to go for the aluminum. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's going to be better for you, long term, as far as you keeping this camper and using it, as the rigors of you driving down. Those, obviously, the aluminum takes part of that road vibration a little bit better. Kurt Rotoflex, so right here, it'll help take control of some of that chucking and bucking when you're driving down the road. They do have the electric stabilizers on this. You can opt for the the hydraulic if you would like, but I think that's kind of preference. You have a battery disconnect right there, and that little yellow thing is also going to be a tire pressure monitoring system as well. So it'll tell you if your camper's getting overheated, underinflated, or whatever. Not your camper, I'm sorry, your tires. Little pass-through storage shows off that aluminum frame construction. You also have outlet and a place for your cable. It's also going to be a slam latch door, so notice how it's a little bit thicker. It'll also be a little bit heavier there for you, and pretty snazzy. Dual awnings. So boom, and then boom, pretty much this entire side, and notice how there is no slide outs on this side, so you're going to be able to really utilize that campsite space. 25-mile-per-hour wind friction door. And then they also use the fancy pants step above steps that flip up into the doorway. But anytime you see this right here, that just going to means it's basically on a strut assist. So notice how light that was. And then you can leave it up. So if you have like shoulder problems, kids, anything of that nature, you don't have to worry about it slamming down and bonking anybody, which I think is nice. Goodyear Endurance tires. And again, you do have the tire pressure monitoring system. And these tire sizes are going to be the ST235/80 R16, so 16-inch tire. A little bit of extra storage right here. Solera 3000 series for the awning, so that'll run off of the solar and your battery and all that, so you don't have to worry about if you lose power, how are you going to get your awnings back in. LP Quick Connect, and then you also have your a couple outlets there for you as well. Plus, you're going to have your outdoor refrigerator, 2-burner cooktop. And then as you flip around in the back, you actually have a, this is actually pretty cool because I think you're going to get 2 of these in this, but there you go. Hot and cold water in the form of an outside shower right here in the back, which I think is just a hair more useful. You're also going to get the towing package as well. Dang, look at that. I didn't know that inside-outside access. That's pretty darn nice. But here on the back, you have the towing package, which is 3,000-pound tow rating and a 300-pound hitch rating. So you got your 4-way flat right there as well. You're also going to have backup camera prep here in the back, and then the ladder to get on top of your fully walkable roof. Again, aluminum frame construction all the way through. Freshwater. You got your gray one right there. Let's go ahead and give it a little squeeze through here. It's going to be storage that I'm passing. Then you have your other gray tank and your sewer outlet connection there too as well. Here's your electric leveling control. And then you have another hot and cold water shower along with all your bypass valves, city water connection, and then your black tank flush, which is basically a sprinkler system there for your poop tank. And then you got your water filter. And then right here, you got a place for your propane. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Again, my name is Hunter, and this was the 2025 Rockwood 374 DBH. Have a great day. See you.